Hello everyone, welcome back to my journey through mosaics. Today I am here to show you the progress on my desert cactus mosaic. Now I know that last week I told you I was going to take 2 weeks to try to get caught up on my calendar mosaic by Nikki, but folks, I didn't have the yarn, especially after many of you suggested that I just go crazy with February. Do something other than the traditional red and white that we associate with February and Valentine's Day. So that's what I did. Well, I went looking through my stash that I have with me right now, but nothing said crazy, Maureen. So I went out and finally found a good sale on a website. I'm not going to tell you who it is because the sale is already over with. But anyway, that yarn is supposed to be here tomorrow, which is Thursday, worst case scenario Friday. But I will get back to working on it so that I can show you what February is going to look like. Which means then I had to pick up another blanket, and so the next blanket in the rotation was my desert cactus. Now I'm going to insert for you a picture of the blanket so that you can remember what it looks like. Now as you can see, I have already completed the bottom brown section, and what I'm working on right now is actually the cactus section. And in looking in the picture here, you're going to see that for me, I have definitely covered the about halfway in the cactus section, and you're going to see whenever I show you the blanket here in just a minute that right where the lower limb of the cactus starts to branch off, that is where I'm at. And so to me that's about halfway, because it did move fairly quickly. I mean, you're doing just long sections of either brown or the green, and it's a pretty simple pattern going through there. In fact, you really don't even have to count, because the pattern itself just kind of tells you where you're going to be doing doubles, where you're going to chain, where you're going to do your double crochets. I mean, it's really flowing very well in this section. So with all of that said, let me show you my progress so far. Now the top is going to fold down just a little bit because there's no structure to it at the moment, because I'm, just building upon it. But anyway, there you go. And as I said, as you can see, let me make sure, okay, as you can see right along in here on the tall part, that is the cactus. This little, what looks like an A to me, I guess it's supposed to represent mountains, I'm not real sure. But as you can see in the tall structure there, there's a little bit of an arm starting to peek out there. So that's where I'm at. And as I said, you can tell that that's about halfway through the cactus section. And again, like I said, I mean, as you can see, look at that. You can tell where the double crochets are supposed to fall, where the singles are going to fall. I mean, it just... Yes, after you do the repeat pattern, I mean the pattern itself for the row, it's pretty obvious where it's going to fall. I mean, it just really is. I can't explain it to you any easier than that, but it is just it just almost flies through each row on its own. And remember now that this one is the one in which, as you notice here on the ends, there are no fringe. The only ends that I'm going to have to tie in or cover up whenever I get my border on there is where I've made my color changes. Here I ended with the brown, and then I started with the green. So what I'm going to do is weave those ends first before I go back and put my border on. And I haven't decided what kind of border I'm going to do, but I will guarantee you it's not going to be an envelope border, which really I don't think you would want to put that on here anyway. But if I also, anyway, I haven't decided if I'm going to stick with the border that's given or if I'm going to do my own thing there. So that's where I'm at with the desert cactus. Now you also know that I am sharing with you every week my square for the luck of the draw with Mama Swift over on her channel. There is a link down in the description box if you are doing the luck of the draw. And if not, I mean, you know, it's only 10 weeks and she gives you lots of options in which to suggestions on pattern styles to use for your luck of the draw blanket. But I have chosen to do her Sweet Marshmallow Kiss pattern, and so this is my latest. Now, with it being 10 weeks, you only had to choose 5 colors and then a main color. Well, each of my 5 colors are in where this black section is. So I started with 3 rounds of my main color, then I went 3 rounds with the color that's drawn, and then I finished out with 3 more rounds of the main color. Now this particular square is completely finished off. I finished it off with, as you can see there, just a row of single crochets, and I put 3 in the corners. I will get these blocked before I start putting them together. And to be honest with you folks, my OCD has kicked in. So although I had to have 5 colors, and I've been pretty successful in that all of them have had, you know, the numbers have been drawn twice. And so I'm afraid that tomorrow, which is the last color to be drawn, might not be the one that I need. So I'm just going to make certain that I have 2 of each color. And then, like I said, I had to have a 6th color because I'm going to have, I mean, with 10 squares, since I did it this way, I needed to have another color. So I just picked the black. I mean, you know, black and tan or black and brown always looks gorgeous together. So I'm going to have my blanket, when I put the squares together, are going to be 3 across and 4 deep. And these are measuring a little between 13 and 14. Now right there is about 13. But by the time I get it blocked and spread out, I'm sure it's going to grow a little bit. So let's just say 14 times 3 is going to make it 42, which is definitely going to put it outside the realm of a Boggy Creek blanket. So I've just decided that that's going to be another one that I can check off the list on blankets for my family this Christmas. So, you know, it has been fun. I have decided that I might just go back and look at her draw again for Luck of the Draw 10, and I may just do exactly what she did, and that is start with my center, do my color round, and then my back to my neutral, and then put the next color and just let it be one big square blanket. So that's an idea I'm kicking around too, especially if I want it to be for a blanket to contribute to Boggy Creek. So that's just an idea right now at the moment. I'm kicking around in my head, so please don't anybody hold me to it, because you know there's just so many blankets. And besides that, she's already making a new stitch, folks, to go with Luck of the Draw number 11. Isn't that awesome? So I mean, I may have to just go ahead and jump on the bandwagon and start that blanket. So anyway, let me just say that's all I have for you for today. Thank you so much for checking in with me and seeing my progress on my mosaics and this Luck of the Draw blanket. I do hope that you'll tune in to me next week when I show you the progress on the calendar mosaic crochet along. But until then, please always remember to be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. Could be your light they are needing to see. I love you guys. Bye.